So here we are, approaching Globe. Had a little bit of fun, but we're in kind of a slow spot here, so I want to talk to you guys about expectations. Expectations. I'm a big person on expectations, and I think that a lot of things in life might be simplified if we just all knew what to expect from each other. And this kind of this topic kind of coincides with some of my internet dating stuff. And I'll tell you one thing that I've been finding is, now ladies, I'm gonna have to pick on you for a minute because I'm a guy, but I know this is with guys too, so don't get me wrong, but I've been finding that it seems like a lot of the ladies out there have a lot of unreasonable expectations when it comes to men, and this kind of coincides. There's kind of an asterisk with some of this stuff, because I actually think that there are a lot of women out there who don't expect enough from men. They don't expect men to be honest enough. They don't expect men to be to be men of character. They don't. That's an expectation that's not demanded enough. But I think a lot of it coincides with the aspects that we're all shaped by our environment, and media plays. I just realized my helmet was open. Media plays a really big role in that, and typically people learn about relationships from their parents. They see how their parents interact, and for better or for worse, most of us tend to mimic that on some level. If you've had parents that that loved each other and that treated each other with respect, more than likely you're probably going to be an individual that demands the same. But sometimes we end up with these situations where, when it comes to picking a partner, we make all these demands of our partners that are completely unrealistic. And so, I mean, if you look at, there we go, if you look at profiles of women, and, well, I want my man to be honest and trustworthy and compassionate and strong and this and that, and bullshit. No, you don't. Because at the end of the day, what do you look for? Well, you look for looks, don't you? Is he hot? Oh man, I mean, he's not really that hot. He's a great guy. He's lots of fun. He treats me well. Yeah, but my friends kind of look at him and go, oh man, I don't know, he's not really that attractive. Now remember, chemistry and attraction is important. Okay, I mean, if you're not attracted to each other, I'm the king of the world. If you're not attracted to each other, then you're going to have a problem. That's just the way it is. But that's kind of on an extreme level, because when you find somebody that fits you well, there are features that you find attractive, and then those people are attractive under the basis of the entire picture. But I keep running into these situations where, and stories where it's like, you have a guy who has got his stuff together, who is compassionate, is intelligent, is strong, but humble, and yet, he's not GQ material, and so, there's no chance given, and it's incredibly unfair. And unfortunately, a lot of it is shaped by the media sources that we look at. People look at television, they watch Hollywood movie stars, and look at all the beautiful people, and we all want somebody absolutely beautiful. And if you're not perfect, if you're not everything, well, then I'm just not even interested. It's like, just at least with the ladies, I can't begin to tell you how many opportunities you are blowing because you're looking at a man, and because he's not built, he's not ripped, he's not eye candy necessarily, and you're being dismissive of him. And it's incredibly important to have realistic expectations for people because, again, you know, this is something I've ran into personally. I mean, being a bigger guy, you know, I'm not exactly the eye candy that, you know, that all the ladies stare at in the room. And so, yeah, I might be a little bit biased about this. But, you know, beauty fades. I mean, when you're really looking for somebody, I mean, when you're really looking for a partner, I'm talking about somebody that you want to spend your life with. And I know there's probably some of you out there going, oh, I'm not really concerned about that. But you never know when it's going to happen. You don't make this decision where you're like, oh, you know what, I really need to get married now. I mean, some people do, but I mean, at that point, you end up settling, you know? And I'm definitely not advocating for settling. I'm advocating for quitting while you're ahead. Ladies, if you have a man come into your life, a man of character, a man of integrity, and a man who is a man, don't dismiss him under the basis that maybe, just maybe, he's not exactly a 10. Or maybe he's not even necessarily an 8. You know? It's really, really important to have realistic expectations of people. And I'll tell you why, because we are all a compromise. Every one of us. There are special people out there who are everything. They're incredibly good looking. They're highly intelligent. They're motivated, but they're compassionate. These people do exist. They're very rare. Very rare. The vast majority of us are all in compromises. All of us. But even the people that are perceived to be, you know, almost perfect people are still a compromise. You know, these are people that have, you know, they could have substance abuse problems, self-confidence problems. They could be, I mean, when you really start to dig deep, especially with the people that are, I mean, if you're using people in Hollywood, for example, people who are wealthy, they've got money, they've got fame, they've got influence, but if you really start to dig into their life, you start finding out that it's plagued with unhappiness, with struggle, with you know, all sorts of things. Nobody's perfect and everyone's a compromise. It's important to recognize the compromises in people, and hey, you know what, there are some people where their compromises are looks. You know, they're just not that attractive, but they have features that are lifelong lasting. You know, they're people of incredible depth and substance and good people. And it's important to be able to recognize those qualities and not dismiss them purely because things aren't perfect. And it's, you know, when you have an overabundance of romantic fiction and media sources that all portray the perfect relationship as the perfect guy with the perfect face, you know, all of that, and those relationships simply just don't exist. And as a consequence, you know, we all have these unrealistic expectations about themselves. Now, I'm going to flip it around for a second, because I think in many cases there are ladies out there, and again, this applies to men too, but I can only come from one side of the perspective. There are ladies out there that don't have enough expectations for men. You know, when you sit around and and all of you ladies out there, well, I want a good man, I want a man that treats me right. You realize every time you pick the shitty guy, you're reinforcing the very thing that you're claiming to be against. And I'm probably gonna anger some of the guys out there, but ladies, you have a lot of power. Okay, you have a lot of control over how a man acts, over the men you let into your life. I mean, men have authority, and we certainly have our place in the relationship, but ladies, you have an incredible amount of power when it comes to influencing how men behave. If you have a man who's after you, if you have a man who wants to be with you, you'd be amazed at the things that you can demand of him that he will comply with. If you have a man that is hot and heavy after you, and you demand him to be a man of integrity, you demand him to be a man of respect, he's going to rise to the occasion, or he's going to fail. But if he does rise to the occasion, you're reinforcing a positive stereotype. You're reinforcing the right expectations of making sure, and when you perpetuate that, across millions of people and millions of relationships, ladies, you have a tremendous amount of power to really shape society and culture and really bring back the kind of values and morals that men really should emulate. But instead, you know, you have situations where, you know, you have sex on the first date, and it's clear that you don't respect yourself. And I mean, if you don't respect yourself, how do you expect a man to respect you? And certainly a man who has his own self-respect is not going to be satisfied with being with a woman who doesn't respect herself. There are a lot of strong men out there who look for strong women, and if you don't have respect in yourself and you don't have strength in yourself, they're not going to be interested. And so, you know, we can yell and scream at guys all we want about how, you know, we want them, you know, as guys, we want to be men of integrity, we want to be chivalrous, we want to be respectful. But if the women out there continue to reward all that negative behavior, if they continue to reward men who are disrespectful and who lack integrity with relationships, then you're never going to break the cycle. And that's exactly what it is. It's a perpetual cycle. You know, men become disrespectful, women reward disrespectful men, therefore men become disrespectful under the guise that they become disrespectful under the guise that that's how you get women. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the second vlog from today. Plenty more to come. Stay tuned!